Hello, everyone. My name is Miss Auditori, and this is our fourth grade ELA class this year. So this is our little introduction to the course that we will be taking on Google Classroom. Okay, so a little bit about me. Obviously, I'm Miss Auditori. This is how to spell my last name. I know it's a bit long, but I just want you guys to get acclimated with it, just in case we ever talk over Zoom or anything else, or we converse or over email. So a fun fact about me, therefore, is that most people struggle to pronounce my name uh, when they meet me, including students. So this is the spelling of my name and then the pronunciation I've put down here if you need it. So I would pronounce it as auditory, auditory. Okay. So these are just a couple pictures of me and what I've done in my life. So the one on the left is me in Paris. I took a trip to Paris, and that was probably one of my favorite trips I've ever taken. It's a beautiful city. If you ever get to go or travel, I would strongly recommend you going to visit there. It was beautiful, and I truly will remember it forever. So that is another fun fact. I love to travel. And then this picture down here is of me and my wonderful mother, who I'm very close to today, in Sedona, Arizona. We went to go visit my uncle, her brother, in Sedona. As you can see, there's really beautiful mountains behind us. And it was just such a fun trip because I also love to hike, especially when it's with my family. And both my parents actually happened to be on that trip. So it was a really fun trip for me. All right, so now that I've shared a couple of fun facts about myself, I have posted an assignment in our Google Classroom, which I'll get into in the next slide probably. But I just want you to tell me one fact about you. So I've set up a Google slide deck where I want you to take a slide and I want you to give me at least one fun fact about you. And then I want you to attach a picture in that slide of yourself, just so I can get a little bit more of a perception of you as a student and as a person. And just one thing also that is going to help you learn best online. So what do you need from me to help you learn best online? Because I obviously want to help you to be a successful student. So if you could do that for me, I think there's a due date in there for that. That would be great. And also other students can view those slides. So please try to be honest and fill that out, just because that's going to help our whole classroom community get to know each other. Okay. And also, these are just examples of fun facts that you could use. So if you have a favorite food, a favorite movie, maybe a favorite sport you play or a favorite sports team, do you have a favorite video game, a favorite hobby like sewing or playing an instrument, or a favorite color, you can use any of these examples for your fun fact. Or you could use anything else that I didn't mention as well. All right, so this is our ELA class schedule, and I just want to explain to you a little bit more of what to expect during this 3-week condensed mini unit that we're going to be doing. So first of all, just the first two bullets are pretty important because this really shows you how to get to our Google Classroom. And if you're watching this video, I know you would have figured that out by now, but I just thought I'd put these up here for the future. If you ever forget or you struggle, you can save this video on your device and you can watch it again. So the first thing you want to do is you want to click on ELA-fourth grade. So once you get into your Google Classroom, that should show up on the left side of your screen. Okay, so you just need to click on that. And then once you click on that, you should see that my page will open up. And along the top bar, you should see the word classwork. So you're going to click on classwork next, and that should then bring you to another screen, which you'll see a bunch of modules show up below. So you'll see module 1, module 2, and module 3 show up. Okay, so those are the 3 modules that you're going to be completing during this 3-week course. All right, so each module just means week 1, week 2, and week 3. So this is a 3-week course. Okay. So each module has 1 week worth of work. Okay. So module number 1, therefore, begins on January 20th. Okay, that's when your first module begins, and you're going to be doing that module throughout the entire week. Okay. Some assignments inside of each of those modules might have due dates, so make sure that you're just paying attention and you're being aware. A lot of the work is due on Friday at the end of each of those weeks, but some of the assignments just have due dates just because I need to get you feedback or put in grades at that point in time for some of those assignments, or I need feedback from you of your understanding of things. So just be aware of there are some due dates in those modules. Okay, so just make sure you're looking at that. Like I said, module 1 should all the work should be due the Friday of the 24th. Okay, so January 24th is when all of the work for that module is due. Module 2 should be due the Friday of January 31st. Okay, so make sure you're paying attention to that. And then module 3, our last week, should be due the Friday of February 7th. Okay, so just make sure you're being aware of those due dates and when you should have all of your work for each week done. Okay. Also, there will be an end of unit visual poster that you're going to be creating with a group of students on Google Draw. So just be aware, once we're done, that will probably be added into the 3rd module, just as your final project to just demonstrate your understanding and the new skills you've learned in the unit. So just be aware of that and to maybe make some more time for the 3rd module so you can complete that with your group. Okay, so that should be a really fun interactive activity for you guys. And then there will also be a quiz. So there will be a unit quiz once you're done with all your modules. The very last thing you're gonna do is complete a quiz. Just I want to see if you guys have mastered what I need you to have mastered from this given unit. Okay, so it's just going to be all the different things that you've studied during the unit. You're going to show me if you have mastered the necessary skills that I've wanted you to learn. Okay. All right, so our unit is going to be based off a reading called All Summer in a Day. So All Summer in a Day has a main character named Margot, and it tells a story of a class of school children living on Venus, where it rains year-round and the sun only appears once every 7 years. Okay, and Margot is the only student born on Earth and is the only person that has ever seen the sun in person. The other students pick on her due to her depression of now living on a dark and dreary planet with no access to natural sunlight. So all of the students in Margot's class were actually born on planet Venus, except Margot. So she was born on Earth, and she actually remembers what it looked like outside with the sun actually out, because the sun never shines on Venus. It's always just wet and dreary. Okay, so we're going to be reading a lot more about this once we get into our unit. And then just story elements I want to touch on. So the genre of All Summer in a Day is going to be science fiction. So science fiction is stories that often tell about science and technology in the future. So this text and video that we will be watching about on All Summer in a Day is supposed to be technology more into the future, what people thought technology would look like in the future. Okay, and we don't have people flying other people into to other planets to go live just yet. And then the settings are, it's usually a time period other than the present. So the setting can be in space, it can be in a different world, or it can be in a different universe or dimension. So obviously this setting takes place on a different planet. So this fits under the genre of science fiction. Okay, so our first term that we're going to be touching on is setting. So that's going to be really important when reading All Summer in a Day. And I just want to make you aware that the setting is the time, the place, and the environment a story takes place. Okay. So the setting is really important because we're going to learn about how the setting can impact characters in a story, especially living in a dark and dreary place like Venus. So I want you guys to be aware of that when you're reading the text because you're going to be doing a lot with setting within in our first module. So just be aware of that definition. And I think that's it. So I really can't wait for you guys to start this unit. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask. I've put my email in the introductory section of my Google Classroom, so you can get it there. And also tell your parents if they have any questions to reach out to me. Okay? Well, I can't wait to get into this unit and happy reading.